Hi, hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be telling you the story of how I almost missed Harryween. Yeah. So sit down, grab some popcorn, and buckle up, because it is a crazy ride. So, a little bit of a background story really quick. When Harry first announced the US tour for this year, the residencies as they're called, because he's doing multiple shows in the same city at the same venue. When he first announced them, I noticed that the first show back then of Los Angeles was on Halloween. And, I was just thinking about how fun Harryween looked last year in New York at MSG, and I was like, I have to go to that one. And so that was the one that I really wanted to go to. It was also, like I said, it was the first show of LA, and it was Halloween, so I was like, that one is gonna be a lot of people are gonna want to go to that one. So yeah, for the pre-sale registration, I signed up for Halloween, and then I think some Texas shows. So then he added 5 more shows for LA and New York. So Halloween was no longer the first night of LA. He added 5 shows before that. And I got a code for October 24th, which is the Monday before Halloween, the week before Halloween. And I was like, first of all, just so glad that I got a code to begin with. At the end of the day, I just wanted to see him at all. Like, I have been a fan of him for so long. I had not gotten to see him as a solo artist in concert. So I was like, you know what? I just want to fucking see him. So then the plan was get the tickets for the code for the day that you have, the 24th, and then maybe try to go to Halloween too. And that's what I did. So I got tickets for the 24th. I was so ecstatic, so happy, filled with adrenaline. Then I went to Halloween to see if my code worked for Halloween as well, and it did. So bought those tickets too. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, why would you go to 2? Like, why not just go to the 1? Why not just go to Halloween, whatever? Well, let me tell you something. I don't know. First of all, a lot of Harry fans go to multiple shows, and not even just 2, like 3 plus. It's a thing people do. Second of all, like I said, I had not gone to see him yet as a solo artist. I wanted to see him as much as I possibly could, so getting 2 shows, it was amazing. I had, 5 years to make up for not being able to see him, so yeah, I was just ecstatic to have 2 shows under my belt. Okay, fast forward to October 24th, and the show's happening. My one friend and I go and see him on the 24th. I saw him for the first time. It was amazing. It was incredible. And it was great. And I had a blast. And then so the next week, I'm going with a different friend to Halloween. So the night before Halloween, October 30th, Sunday night, I start getting a weird feeling. You know what? And I thought it was just excited anxiety. I was excited to see him again, but I was nervous to go to the forum and get out of the forum. And if you know, the forum, getting out of there is literally hell. So, I guess I was nervous about that. I was just trying to plan how we were going to get where, Uber and all that. So I don't know, I guess I was just kind of nervous about that, but obviously excited to see him on Halloween. But at the same time, I don't know, I just felt weird. So I was watching Beetlejuice because everyone thought he was going to be Beetlejuice because of the poster. So I was watching Beetlejuice and I was packing, and I was packing really late. It was 11 p.m. and I was packing, and I just felt so weird. I don't know. I really don't know how else to explain it, but obviously there was a reason why I was feeling weird. Then it was midnight. It was Halloween. It was Harryween day. And I was like, got a show today. But still felt weird. Went to bed. And I was like, Harryween. I don't know. I just went to bed. I woke up and I still felt a little weird. And I was like, okay. So originally, I was going to not wash my hair in the morning on Halloween. I was going to wash my hair in LA at the hotel, and then do my hair how I was going to do it and straighten it and all that over there in LA at the hotel. But something told me, like, no, just take a shower at your house, put your hair how you're gonna do your hair, blow dry your hair, and straighten your hair. Just basically do your fucking hair at your house before you leave. And I was like, okay. So that's what I did. I got ready. This is how my hair was. It was like some up and the rest down. And I had straightened it. I blow dried it and straightened it. And it was whatever. And then I was like, I'll just re-straighten it at the hotel. So after I took a shower, I was like, I'm going to check the Southwest app to like check on the flight, because the week before on the 24th our flight was delayed like 20-30 minutes, and that gave me so much anxiety then. So I was like, I better check it again. And sure enough, our flight was delayed, this time about 3 hours, until 4. And I'm like freaking out a bit because it was delayed until 4. It was the original flight time. It was 1:35, but now it was like 4 something, and it was like, okay, so we'd get to LA by 5 o'clock. And so I started freaking out. I was like, we're not gonna have that much time to get ready, but we're just gonna have to like hurry and get ready. It's fine. It's fine. So then my friend and I left to the airport later than we originally were going to, because obviously the flight was delayed, so we didn't need to be there as early. So we got to the airport basically at the time of our original flight that we were supposed to leave. Whatever. So we sat down, we were eating lunch, we were like, we might as well eat, we're gonna be here a while. And we just watched the screen thingies that say the departure times and all that. We just watched that get later and later. We're checking the app, and we just watched the flight get delayed later and later. By this time, the flight is delayed until 6 p.m. And it was like, we're not going to get into LA until 7. Show starts at 8. The opening act goes on at 8. And I was like, you know what? If we miss the opening act, it's okay. I loved Ben Harper. I loved on the 24th. I thought he was a really great performer. But I was like, if we miss the opening act, then we're going to have to, like, I don't know. That's going to have to be what happens if it does. But I didn't want to, obviously. Like, I wanted to be at the fucking venue, be in our seats like by 8 by the time the show started. But it just, in my head, I was just like accepting the fact that we'd probably miss Ben's set. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Ben. So basically, then we kind of find out that our plane was going from DC to Chicago to Albuquerque. And that's why I kept getting delayed all day, because of weather in Chicago, and then like something with like the pilot we found out later on in Chicago. They had to switch pilots, and that's why it was taking so fucking long to get to Albuquerque. So finally, the Southwest people that like work at the airport at the little desk or whatever were like making announcements and stuff, and they were finally like, okay, the plane has left Chicago and it's on its way here. So finally, the plane gets to Albuquerque. We finally board at about 6:15-ish. And the flight was one of those flights, I don't really know what they're called, but where like, some people, will get off, but some people stay on the plane because they're going to the next city. So when we were boarding, there's people who were already on the plane from Chicago who were then going to Los Angeles. And I don't know what possessed me to sit down next to this, like, white guy. He looked like he was, like, my age or younger-ish. I don't know, but I don't know. I was so out of it. That's how out of it at that point that I was. Also, I'm, like, looking on Twitter, and people are heading to the Forum. And we hadn't even left Albuquerque yet. And I was like, oh, my God. It was just terrible. It was awful. Anyway, so we're on the plane, we finally take off. I was just freaking out on the plane. I was like, okay, I was like making a plan in my head. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this, get to the hotel, this. And it was like, if we can get to the hotel by 8 o'clock, then we'll have a little less than an hour to get ready, and blah, 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 we'll be fine. I was praying on the plane. I was like, please, Harryween gods, let us get there. Let us get there. Let us make it. Like, I was praying. I don't know what else to say. And then I was watching It 2017. It's a comfort movie for me, so I don't know what that says about me, but it is. I love that movie so much. So, something familiar, something that brings me joy. Yeah, I was watching that to calm myself down on the plane. Another thing is, we had to check in for our flight. For the next day, for our flight home, we had to check in on the plane because we were in the fucking air. Yeah, we had to check in on the plane. We were using the plane Wi-Fi. It took a little bit to get it, but we did, and whatever. We did that on the plane. Anyway, so we landed in LA at 7:13, and mind you, there is a time change, so when we got to LA, it was like an hour, like the time changed is the point, and we landed in LA. It was 7:13. So I'm like, okay, we have like, the show starts in 45 minutes, but like I said, I just accepted the fact that we were going to miss Ben's set. Really sorry again, Ben, if you watch this, which you probably won't. Booked it to the baggage claim, which in the end it didn't even matter because the baggage took like a fucking hour to come out almost. Yeah. So we finally got our bags at 8:15. Told you, it took like an hour to get our bags. Well, while we were waiting for our bags, I was freaking out. I was like, what if we don't make it in time? Like, what if he's like already on stage and we miss him coming out on stage? And I was like, what time does the forum close the doors? I'm like calling the forum, trying to get someone in. I was gonna like ask them what time to close the doors. No one answered, obviously. Like, of course they're busy. I was tweeting the forum. I was like DMing the forum. I was like, what time do you close the doors? But I didn't get an answer. I was just freaking out. And then I started to cry. I sat down on a bench while we were waiting for our bags, and I started to cry because I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do wrong? So then we were getting an Uber to go to the hotel. I didn't really know how the Uber worked at the airport. I had never taken an Uber from the airport to wherever. I had always taken a shuttle from LAX. So we were trying to figure out how that worked. And basically they have this thing called LA Exit, which is like leaving LAX, in an Uber or Lyft, one of those apps. And they have this little section that you walk to, and they have zones, and you put your zone in the Uber app or whatever, Lyft app, and that way your Uber driver knows which one to go to. So we're trying to figure out how to get the Uber. There's like a shuttle, so like for the terminals that are like, I don't know, there's a shuttle that will take you to the place where the Ubers are, but that shuttle takes like 20 minutes. I didn't know that, but I mean, I found it out later on. But we're in Terminal 1, and so all we had to do was like walk 3-5 minutes a little ways, and then we were at the pickup area. So I don't know, we figured it out, but I almost wasted 20 minutes of our time. So the Uber, luckily for us, was like it wasn't like a van, but like kind of like we just held our bags with us, and we didn't put it in like a trunk, which it would have taken extra time to have put our bags in the trunk and then take them out. Like, I don't know, like we just had our bags with us. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was just so, I don't know, it just made it go by quicker. Anyway, so we're in the Uber, and we're hitting every red light. I really don't know what time we got to the hotel. I really could not tell you, but I think it took about 15 minutes to get from LAX to the hotel. We checked in. My friend had to sign a bunch of papers because she was the one who got the hotel, so she was like, signing all that. Got to our room, changed in like 5 minutes. It was the quickest I've ever changed in my entire life. My friend goes to the bathroom and changes. I change like in the room. Didn't have time to put makeup on, so this is what my makeup would have looked like. My little sister was helping me the night before because I didn't know what to do for my makeup, and so she was helping me. She was letting me use her eyeshadow palette, and I was going to do the little green number because the pants were green. I was Kim Possible, by the way. I'll show you, but yeah, I was Kim Possible. So, and then these were my nails, and I have not had the heart to take them off take off the nail polish because I don't want to. Yeah, I didn't have time to put makeup on. I put like eyebrow pencil, some mascara, and a dream. That's all I had working for me. We got the Uber to go to the forum, and then like the guy got there, and we had to like tell him like, oh my god, wait like a second, we're almost done. We get into the Uber by 8:50. Mind you, Harry comes on at like 9. So, get to the forum at 8:55. The guy drops us off. Like, they're starting to close it off. But the guy, like, makes a little U-turn, drops us off, and we, like, run in. I'm trying to remember how to get there because I was just there last week. And so, we're, like, running. And we run in. We go through security. The security, they were, like, licking our bags. We go through security, and then we go up through... for them to check our tickets. We go into the venue. I'm trying to, like, remember... I'm trying to, like, figure out where our seats are, and luckily where we got dropped off and, like, where we entered the venue, our seats were, like, right there. We just had to, like, go up, and then we were there. Get to our seats at 8:58. And Harry comes out on stage at 9:14. So we had 16 minutes. So had anything at all taken us 16 extra minutes, we would have missed it. So in conclusion, I'm just so happy we made it. I couldn't believe we made it. We sat down and I was like, we made it. Like, we fucking made it. Barely. But we made it, and that's all that matters. I was so grateful that we did. Thank you to anyone who was, like, checking up on us throughout the day and making sure that we made it. Like, your concern. I appreciate it so much. we did make it, so that's all that matters. The show was absolutely incredible. It was amazing. It was the best Halloween ever. He came out dressed as, like, Grease, like, the band and everything were dressed as Grease. He had, like, a leather jacket and all that. You know, it was amazing. It was incredible. If you saw the day of, if you saw my Snapchats or my tweets or whatever, yeah, I was really stressed out. I was way more stressed out than I let on to be, trust me. But once again, I am so grateful it worked out and that I got to see Harry for the first time and then on Halloween, and it was incredible. It was the best nights of my life. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.
You